From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast with Scott Sander.
Welcome to the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast. I'm Scott Sander. On this episode,
we have insights on angel investors and what you need to know about their expectations. That's in our Access to Capital segment. We get marketing and public relations tips directly related to small businesses in running your business day to day. And our Accounting and Bookkeeping segment looks at new digital resources that are making money management easier for small businesses.
Every business is unique and has a target audience. If you own or manage a business, Circulus Digital Media can help you connect and grow your customer base with turnkey digital solutions that are nimble, offering best-in-class results, service, and support to reach a bigger customer base, allowing you to pinpoint a specific audience down to the smallest details. Get outside the city, the state, span the globe. Put Circulus Digital Media to work for you. Get started now at circulusdigital.com. That's circulusdigital.com.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Access to capital. That is, how easy or how hard it may be to raise the monetary resources you need to make your dream a reality. So you have a great idea, you've put your business plan together, but you need money to make things happen. How do you go about asking for that money?
From Wish TV, this is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Access to Capital.
John Thompson is a very successful businessman who's found great success in investing in new small business startups as an angel investor.
Well, the thing that I started doing about 10 years ago that I do increasingly is I'm an angel investor, investing in many, many companies to help them grow. I do it with a profit motive, making a return. But at the same time, I'm very pleased that it creates and attracts high-paying jobs. One of those companies is TMAP, Make My Move, where we're the number one company. If you're interested in working remotely in America, we're the number one company for you to deal with. Our website is the website for remote workers around the country. And that business is, we've gone from 5 million remote workers in America pre-pandemic to 36 million today, remote workers. That's how prevalent it is. And those people are determined to stay remote. They're gonna live where they want and do their jobs remotely. They're determined to do it. So if you won't let them do it, they're gonna quit. And so we do that both offensively and defensively. We work with companies so that their remote workers, maybe they're working remote, but they stay right here in Indiana. They don't leave the state. And then in other cases, we're working with communities to attract remote workers. That's a hot area, but it's also good for the state. Remote workers tend to make their high-paying jobs, very high-paying. And when you attract a remote worker, you're attracting, it's very unique, two things, a worker and a job, because they're bringing a job that didn't exist in this state, and the state benefits. We get the income tax from that job. They move here and pay property tax, sales tax. They eat in the restaurants, shop in the stores, and you name it. And so they bring a lot of revenue. And we've attracted a lot of remote workers working with communities. And folks will say, well, you know, who want to live in a rural community? We've shocked people. We'll put ads in for someone to move to Greensburg. We got 2,000 applications. Now, Greensburg's paying an incentive, and Greensburg created content on our website. They created an idea. One couple became grandparents. They said, we're your local grandparents. So not just they'll babysit, but they'll go to the softball games and the baseball games. They'll go to the dance recital with you. So you're cheering for your daughter because her grandparents live in, who knows, New York City is where her grandparents are. So they can't be at all of those things. I mean, it's just free meal once a month. A lot of things to acclimate people to the community. And then we put all of that content on our website. It's the #1 remote worker website in the country. And so I invest in that company. I think it's going to be very, very, very successful. And many others. Scale is manufacture edge computers. I'm very confident that company is going to do well, and it has done well. It's grown to be over 100 workers, mainly here in Indiana, making $85,000 a year plus. Those are the kind of jobs you want to create. So I can go on and on with those kinds of investments. We have a new company, Spoke Note, where we produce little stickers with QR codes. You buy a pack of 10 stickers. When you send your grandkid in out of state a gift, you put a sticker on the gift. When they scan that QR code, there you are, happy birthday, and it's you and maybe, your husband or your sister or cousin, doing a little cheer for them. You can't be at their big championship baseball game, but you send that QR code. So that's Spoke Note. And it's many other things that Spoke Note can do. But that's kind of the next chapter for me, investing in those kind of companies with a preference for Indiana-based businesses. I think it's twofold. One, I can help our state, but two, I can get a return doing it. I think there's a lot of talent in the state. We have one company here in the state, MetaCX. They're creating an entire new ERP system. So for a company to operate that creates equal value between multiple, so not just the customer and the vendor, but other relationships. And you are creating value differently and better than you have in the past. And so that's MetaCX, and those guys were some of the founders of ExactTarget, and so the beauty of it is many of these entrepreneurs stick around town and reinvest in new opportunities, and that's phenomenal.
Digital changes in the banking sector are making life a lot easier for small businesses to compete. We explore the effects and the advantages in this edition of Accounting and Bookkeeping.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Accounting and Bookkeeping.
Tim Spence, the new CEO for Fifth Third Bank, discusses how new advances in digital banking are making things easier for small business owners and their customers.
Especially in this time where we have social challenges that we didn't have in the past, where technology is playing a role in the business that it didn't 20 years ago, and where the people that we compete with don't look like the traditional competitors that we would have competed with in the past, that having a fresh perspective, being somebody who grew up. I mean, I learned to code in Logo in first grade. Who had the alpha client of Netscape Navigator running in my library, and the first computer that I saw in my high school gives me a little bit of a unique perspective on what maybe is to come. It already has had a big impact on our ability to provide access to customers and to give them tools that allow them to manage their finances easily. But a lot of those gains have come in helping it make it simpler to service your account. So you can get your account balance up to the minute available on your mobile phone, or you can simplify the way that you would make a check deposit. I think in the future in the business, the tech development really is going to be focused on providing our customers with software that actually allows them to live better, right? Tools that actually help you to set your savings plan that algorithms that run in the background that move small amounts of money on your behalf into your savings accounts to help you set up the plan in order to achieve it, and then to help you personalize those sorts of goals so that when you see a t-shirt that you might otherwise want to buy on Instagram, the thought process in your mind is not, hey, it's an extra $1 out of my checking account, but rather, this is my child's birthday fund. Do I want to be a good dad and keep the money in the birthday fund, or do I want to be a bad dad and get that t-shirt that I saw on Instagram? I think technology is really going to flatten the scale curve, and in particular take a lot of the hassle out of starting your business. There are things we don't have the ability to control, like government. You think about the impact that digital could have on the licensing process or the permits and the approval process. I think there's lots of opportunity for innovation and government there. But in terms of getting your account set up, getting payroll processed, accepting payments, remitting payments to your suppliers, these are all things that required bookkeepers and a large back office to manage in the past that you're going to be able to do in a much more seamless and automated way right out of the gate as a business. I think we're already seeing that in a lot of parts of the small business ecosystem. Big breakthroughs come from fresh perspectives on how to solve old problems, right? Not from solving old problems a little bit differently than they were done before. So for people who are starting businesses, I always really encourage them to spend the time that's required to really think through what the issues are with the way that somebody handles their books today in our business, right? Or how somebody plans for and saves for college, right? Or the ways in which we think about how we spend our free time. And then you want to deconstruct those problems in ways that really allow you to understand how you can bring new technology or new solutions or better advice and education to the process for your customers.
This week on Running Your Business Day to Day, we get advice about marketing your small business.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Running your business day to day.
Part of creating a successful business is knowing how to reach your customers. Ashley Scott, the founder of Cerulean Consulting Group, has some tips specifically for small business owners in this segment of Running Your Business Day to Day.
When you're first starting your business, I tell people, do not be afraid to invest in your brand and your marketing. That is the backbone of who you are. It's all about how you show up to the world and are consistently introducing yourself over and over again. Folks make quick decisions about whether or not they want to purchase your product or your service, so you want to make sure that every touch point, from your website to your social media to the interaction that they have with you in the first consultation, or even if they're just looking at your product on the shelf, you want to make sure that that is consistent with the message that you hope to send. And at your core, that core meaning, that mission statement that you have, it should emanate through every touch point that you have with these individuals. When you created your product or service, it is my goal to help business owners uncover their commitment to community. So why did you create this product? Why are you providing this service? Is it to solve a problem? Is it to help someone overcome a challenge that they're having? Is it an opportunity to inspire them to take action? Or is it just to provide comfort or joy or beauty, right? If it's art, for example. We are in a digital age where it's really easy now for folks to discover new and exciting opportunities. So when you're building your brand and you're giving yourself the opportunity to design the look and feel and experience of your product, it's important that you invest in your marketing, invest in your branding, because that is the first time that someone is interacting with who you are and what you offer. When you're first getting started, or if you're an established brand, as you are growing, pay attention to your customer base. The easiest way to serve your customers is to get repeat customers. That's the fastest way for you to grow. And if they're happy, they're gonna tell other people that they're happy. So when you are exploring your customer base, you wanna take note of what what they like, what they don't like. You want to understand what problem you're solving for them. It may be different from the initial problem that you thought you were solving, and they might be purchasing your product or service for a completely different reason. So in our business, we really help people uncover what those key metrics are. We do market research, and we do customer profiles, and we do all sorts of focus groups and different things to help the company get a better understanding of how they are positioned in the marketplace. If you need to rebrand your business as a result of the research that you've done on your target audience, your customer base, it is not the end of the world. Do not be afraid. It is absolutely okay for you to start over or just pivot a bit and tweak your messaging. So there are plenty of opportunities for you to, spruce up your branding on your website, think about how you're showing up in images, think about, your messaging and your written communication like your electronic newsletters or your social posts. There are so many ways that you can grow your company without having to completely start from scratch. So absolutely, there's always room to improve. So don't put that pressure on yourself. It's okay. You're going to be okay.
Our thanks again to all the contributors who joined us for this episode of the Business Equity and Opportunities podcast. We hope you found it enlightening, useful, and inspiring. You'll find more information about the show on our website, BEOshow.com. You can watch Business Equity and Opportunities Sunday mornings at 10 on Wish TV or live stream it through wishtv.com. Each week, we provide 7 full segments with topics ranging from how to get started and how to access capital to the day-to-day running of your business and questions about accounting and bookkeeping. We feature business news and trends and always share a success story from one of our contributors. Join us next time for more insights into the world of small business. Be sure to sign up for our Business Equity and Opportunities newsletter to get even more valuable, up-to-date information. And if you have any questions or you'd like to be part of our show, please email us. The address is beo@wishtv.com. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Scott Sander. Thanks for listening.
Watch the Business Equity and Opportunity Show on Wish TV and access all of our content and share it on demand anytime at BEOshow.com. You can find more podcasts from Wish TV on the All Indiana Podcast Network at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.